Hi, my name is Jon Leland, and welcome to another episode of Video Mojo, our playful exploration of the leading edge of video marketing. And today I am delighted to have as my guest Lindsay Tjepkema from Casted. They're a software B2B service that helps podcasters, but we really talk about the whole conversational marketing arena and how to have meaningful conversations, video podcasting versus regular podcasting, audiences, not algorithms, and much, much more. I really think you're going to appreciate and value this conversation on Video Mojo, and I look forward to your feedback. Enjoy. Well, welcome, Lindsay Tjepkema from Casted. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me here. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's so good for you to take the time. I really connected with you via your online presence, and in particular, the article that you wrote in MarketingProfs, which was called Your New Content Marketing Engine Podcasting. And I think that we've got some like minds. I know that we do. And one of the things that you are working with, I know that your company supports podcasters. Mm-hmm. You told me mid-market companies and up,
Yep.
Who have the resources to really do something, I think, meaningful with both podcasting and video podcasting.
Yep.
So tell me about the content engine, because content marketing is a big, important way for businesses to build relationships. How is podcasting the new content marketing engine?
Well, to me, so my background is content marketing. I've spent the last 15 years as in B2B, always kind of on the content and brand side of things. And really what I've watched over the last decade and a half to 2 decades has been the establishment of content marketing, which opened up a whole new chapter for marketers and for brands, really to say, okay, communicate with your audience directly, leverage this thing called a blog that allows you to kind of publish and talk to your audience in real time. And as you do that, here's this other thing that emerged called search engines. And if you can really customize your content so that it appeals to the search engines, then you can get in front of more audience faster. And then you nurture them, and then they can convert on your site, and then you get them to get into your nurture streams, right? That all makes sense, right? Makes sense to generate an audience, get them to read your content, come in and convert on your site, and then hopefully they become customers. However, this was established when I was getting started, 15 to 20 years ago. That's when this whole thing really started. And although that was before smartphones and iPads and podcasts, and before we could stream video to our workplaces, let alone to our homes, the playbook really still hasn't changed, despite all that has changed for us and for our audiences. The playbook still is, in 2021, very much built around blogging, and use that blog to go serve search engines and to go make sure that you're outranking your competition so that people will find you instead of your competitors. And that turns into this process where a content marketer is tasked with writing like a subject matter expert, faster, more often, at a higher velocity than any of their competitors, to outrank the competition. Oh, and then in your abundant spare time, actually create the content that your audience wants, like what we're doing right now with shows, with audio and video. And it turns into this whole strategy that's serving algorithms over audiences. And to me, it's like, okay, that's enough, right? I got sick of it as a content marketer and said, what if we set out to create the content that our audiences want first? And then from there, use that content to wring it out and really amplify it across other channels. So, I go have a great conversation with you. I harness all of the expertise and unique perspectives that Jon has to share with my audience. I capture that as a conversation, as like exactly what we're doing right now is audio and video content that my audience is going to love. And then I wring it out. I take the transcript and I create blog content and website content. I create social media content. I equip my sales team with clips that they'll be able to use to drive sales. And it just is taking everything that we know about content marketing, just looking at it a little bit on its side and saying, what if we started with conversations instead of keywords? You're still serving all the same things.
Conversations instead of keywords. audiences, not algorithms.
Yeah.
We got
Yes.
tweetable sound bites already.
Yeah. Well, and I find myself saying that all the time because it's not algorithms are bad, blog is bad, keywords are bad. Not at all. It's just like, why are we starting there? Why don't we start with rich conversations and then get into how can we optimize and how can we get better and how can we make sure that people can find these great conversations?
Yeah, and I've got one for you. My new thing is that conversations are king. It used to be the content was king, but it really should all start with meaningful conversations.
It's so true.
I know another place of wonderful overlap that we have is in not just podcasting, but video podcasting. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I'm looking at is, spinning content out, if you will, via short video clips. Yeah. And taking advantage of the fact that Instagram is prioritizing Reels and TikTok is exploding like very few people even realize, with opportunities for marketers. Mm-hmm. So are you guys working also on that front in terms of video content spinning out, not just, I mean, it is great to use the text, but there, once we have this rich audiovisual material that you were just talking about, it seems to me that that's a huge opportunity. It
is, right? And I think, and we're seeing it more and more, that marketers and marketing teams are thinking more creatively about what can I do with these conversations. I recorded it. What else can I do with it? But until recently, it was like, well, we're doing a webinar. It's a webinar, or we did a conference. So I have conference content. Well, yeah, but how else can you use it? And how else can, you and I are having this conversation now. How can we take little clips of things that you and I are saying and use those in myriad ways to, like you said, a clip of the audio and or video content that could go onto social media. Pick your platform, right? How can I say, let's say you're my customer and you say, yeah, Casted helped me win 10 new customers in a week. Like, that's a great soundbite that I would love to get into the hands of my sales team so that they could go back and use it in their sales conversation. So thinking through, if you start with a conversation, there's so much richness that can be repurposed and repackaged and used in other ways. Absolutely. I mean, that sums it up. That's kind of my whole soapbox for what we should be doing, how we should be thinking about things a little bit differently.
Totally agree. I made up the title for this episode, Why is Your Podcast Audio Only? Upgrade to Video for Increased Engagement. Mm-hmm. And I know that Casted is also advocating for video podcasting. Yep. But taking half a step back, just moving into podcasting, let alone video podcasting, is a big ask, I think, for many organizations. So your platform, I guess, helps with that, but what's your view of what does it take? I know there's like do-it-yourself podcasters, right? And I'm probably the closest thing to a do-it-yourself video podcaster, but I do have a lot of experience as a video producer, and I guess I'm more agile in the video environment than your normal person. So mm-hmm. it goes back, because when I was a big advocate for the beginning of digital video, I said just because one person can do it all doesn't mean that he or she should. And in this arena, what does it take for an organization to really have meaningful conversations and then leverage all this audio video content?
It's a good question. I get asked versions of that question quite a bit. And really, I mean, it depends. I mean, that's like the answer that everybody always gives. It depends. So everything from, if really all you have is yourself, and I have been a marketing team of one with no budget, working at a nonprofit. I've done that before, and I've also worked at a large global enterprise where there are resources, there are vendors, there are partners, and so and then the brand too. I mean, maybe the brand really is rich, authentic, raw, we're just going to publish the conversations, no bumpers, no video, or no music or anything like that, versus things have to be very, very manicured. Or maybe you're in a highly regulated industry that things have to be, polished and things like that. So know who you are, know what you've got, know what you have resources to do and what you're obligated to do. But I think really, regardless of who you are, regardless of the answers to those questions, go have conversations, right? Go have the conversations that are going to be of interest to your audience and then do whatever you can to share them. And yes, some people that's going to be really raw. It's going to be, look, all I've got is Zoom, and the free version of Zoom, I'm going to record it and just turn around and share it, all the way up to, there's going to be multiple people working on this episode, and it's going to be, thousands of dollars a pop. So I think when the essence of it, when the spirit of it is meaningful, like you said, meaningful conversations, authenticity, serving your audience with content that's actually educational, actually, inviting and engaging and entertaining, there's a lot more forgiveness than I think a lot of marketers think around the production side.
Yeah, and I'm seeing more and more of, I guess in my own life, just real conversations. For me, they're happening a lot on Twitter these days. And I'm very excited about the recording capabilities that I guess they've announced that Twitter Spaces will be adding soon. Let me give you an opportunity to talk about where people can get in touch with you. So your company is Casted, and the URL is not .com. It's casted.
Casted.us. Yep.
Casted.us. So and you're a service for business to business marketers who, give me a little fill in that sentence in terms of what you guys do.
Sure. So we are software. We're a software platform. So our typical customer is a marketing leader that is managing, or maybe even somebody who's just part of a marketing team at, as you mentioned, like a mid-market, mid-sized company, all the way on up to enterprise. I mean, Salesforce is a customer, and they're wonderful, and they have multiple shows around the world. And then we also have some companies that are just getting started with one. And so you come to us with a commitment to content marketing and saying, yeah, we want to do a show, or we already have many shows. What do we do? And so we say, okay, go create your content, have that conversation, figure out how you're going to produce it. We can help with that if needed. But really, once where Casted as a platform comes into play is you have that finished episode that's been edited, it's all polished, it's how you want it. You upload that into Casted, and that's where all that content amplification happens. We host it and syndicate it. For the audio side of things, we get it out to the Apple, Spotify's, Google's of the world. Video, we host it, and we're working on being able to push that out to YouTube. And then we give it all a place to live. We give you a show page and episode pages. And then we give you the ability to leverage a transcript that's created for every single show to ring it out. That's how you create clips. That's how you create key takeaways. That's how you kind of further add value to those show pages that are created and casted. And then once you kind of ring out that content and amplify it across other channels, you got to measure it. You got to know how it's working, and not just in number of downloads, but in ways that actually matter to a B2B marketer and to their CMO and to their CEO. How's it impacting revenue? How's it driving pipeline? How is this impacting engagement across, our brand as a whole? And so we work to answer those questions both in the platform and also through interactions and integrations with other platforms that marketers use, like HubSpot, Marketo, Pardot, Eloqua, Drift, WordPress, just making it easy to, again, just ring out that content and get as much value out of it as possible.
Casted, of course, has your own podcast. And what I noticed was that, my passion for video podcasting, and don't just do audio, do video podcasting. I guess two questions. One is, why are you advocating for that? I have my own reasons, but I'd love to hear yours. And then secondly, what does it take for an organization that wants to move from audio-only podcasting to video? So why do they want it? Why should they do it? And then what are your recommendations for how to make that upgrade?
Well, I think why should they be doing shows at all? I think we kind of talked about that a little bit. I mean, it's more authentic. It's richer. It's what your audience actually wants. And I'm not saying instead of written content, but just in addition to, like, why not? Why not go have great conversations, turn that into rich content that audiences have shown that they like, and then use that to turn that into written content and social media content. So that's one. Why video and audio? Again, why not, right? If you're going to go capture a conversation, especially after this past year we all just had, people might be fatigued by Zoom, but they're also a lot more comfortable on video, right? And that's great. And I think we all see the value of human interaction where we can actually see each other's faces. And that's not only for having the conversation, but also for consuming the conversation. So if you have the ability to capture both audio and video, give your audience the opportunity to listen and watch and engage and consume that content the way that they want to. Some people do want to read, some people want to watch, some people want to listen. Also, for accessibility standpoint, some people can't listen, right? Or can't see what you're doing. So give them the opportunity to consume it in the way that's literally best for them. And then, bring it out across all the other channels as well.
I'm curious about your perspective on the market and what is it that you see in organizations that are willing to make that jump into producing a show at all, to having a podcast, and then the ones that also have that extra willingness to make them more human, eye-to-eye contact and show your face, which I think is really a valuable way to increase the connectivity, the engagement. Yeah.
I think the brands that are doing it are the ones that really, really see how important it is for a human to humanize a brand, right? We all know, and it's not new. I mean, it's human. Business to business is human to human. Business to B2C, business to consumer is also human to human. And think about the brands that you love. I mean, yes, consumer brands, but like the ones that you buy from for your job, the ones that you really like and the ones that you really follow, even if you don't buy from them yet, are the ones that you can feel their personality and that you feel real value from and that you can connect with on a human level. And so those companies are the ones that are winning. Those are the ones that are going to continue to win, that once they get a customer will keep it, and that really don't create just audiences, but raving fans. The companies that are really winning now and will continue to are the ones that are not just creating audiences, but the ones that are creating raving fans. And I think you had Jay Akunzo on not too long ago. He's a friend of ours and friend of mine, and he talks about that a lot too. Like, you don't just create listeners or followers, create raving fans. And it's so true. And the B2B marketers, the marketers in general that are just crushing it are the ones that get that. It's not about, yes, it's about metrics and it's about conversions and things like that, but it's about humanizing the brand. It's about giving people something to believe in.
Are you more active on one channel or another, or across the board? Do you have a favorite social media channel? So
LinkedIn is where I'm probably most active and have been, but Twitter's kind of my second one that I've actually been getting more involved in lately. So, and then Instagram, I really like Instagram too. I go through waves of like publishing to Instagram, and then I'm like, I've been very quiet for a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally have a new life on my Twitter engagement and just kind of literally making friends that are real relationships through the Twitter platform, which one would not, I think, intuitively, it's kind of like gets a bad rap because of all the political stuff and all that. But I'm finding it as a great place to meet people and to network. And anyway, so that's and LinkedIn certainly makes sense from a business to business point of view. Yeah. Well, I feel like we're partners on the path in a sense, and some of these core values about being more human, about having meaningful conversations, and video podcasting in particular is a huge passion of mine. And I know you not only get it, but you're out there advocating for it as well. So Wonderful to meet you. Thank you again for taking the time so that we could share what we're up to and hopefully spread the gospel, I guess it is, of marketing that matters and conversations that are worth having.
I think it comes down to, if you have the opportunity to do status quo, or what you've always done, or what's going to generate the numbers, or making a human connection. I just hope that more and more people are choosing the human connection.
Yeah, human connection matters, and that's where relationships come from. And it is a long game. It sometimes takes patience, and relationships are built one at a time. But once you connect with somebody and establish a rapport, then it can continue and be meaningful. And we all would rather have long-term clients and customers and tribe members than quick hit, and then they disappear into the ether.
100%.
So,
yep.
Yeah. Thanks again, Lindsay. Wonderful to talk with you again, and let's do it again soon.
So awesome. Thank you so much for having me. This is fun.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. I want to let you know that Video Mojo has some great episodes coming up, so I hope you will subscribe and stay tuned. Zach Moreno from Squadcast, the premier local recording mechanism or platform for podcast production, Stuart Balcom from Procket. And we're going to be also talking about how to roll out podcast content for more effective video marketing. Also, April Beach from Sweet Life Co., who's going to talk about online offers and signature courses and licensing content. I think my good friend Andy Black, who's a new Twitter friend, actually. So there's lots of content coming your way. We look forward to your feedback. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.